My name is Sandy Odden. I was a teacher for 40 years in a variety of settings, some of which were exceptionally wonderful experiences. I'm retired now. I've been retired for 5 years, and I loved teaching. I absolutely loved it. It's the best career I could ever have seen myself become. I I became interested in teaching when I was about 6 years old, and my little brother was forced by me to learn the alphabet. And he was not real happy about it, but he survived, and to this day, he's quite brilliant because of me, I'm sure.
How did you and my father end up teaching Yupik Eskimo children in Eek, Alaska?
Well, our first teaching position was on the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation in Kyle, South Dakota. We taught Lakota, Sioux, and after 2 years of teaching there, we moved on. But prior to that, my husband had completed a government form inquiring about teaching in rural Alaska. So as a result, once we left Kyle, we went back to Minnesota. We completely forgot about the application, and February of 1976, we received a telegram, and it stated, if you're interested in teaching in rural Alaska, respond within 2 weeks. And of course, because my husband had a passion for adventure, which he taught me to be adventurous, we accepted the position and proceeded to move to Alaska.
What was it like teaching in the remote village of Eek, and can you please describe Eek?
Well, when we arrived in the village, we anticipated, or I can only speak for myself, that this was going to be rural like rural Minnesota. It was far from rural. It was very, very remote and almost desolate. There were no trees. It was all snow-covered. Very, very kind of a feeling of, oh, we're at the end of the earth kind of feeling from this little Minnesota farm girl. But the minute we stepped off of our little puddle jumper plane, the students, and there were a number of people that greeted us, and their big smiles and their brown faces and their parkas, Eskimo parkas in some cases, it was like we belonged there. It was life-changing experience from day one until we left the village 4 years plus later. It was amazing. We were in a 2-teacher school, about 40 students in K through 8. Archer was the principal, and he taught 6th, 7th, and 8th graders. I was the middle school grades teacher, teaching 3rd through 5th, as well as teaching ESL, English as a second language, to the students in the lower levels. And then we had 2 first language teachers, 3 actually, in K1 and 2, that would teach the concepts to the little ones in the Yupik language, and then I would follow up with teaching them how to speak in English, as well as some of the reading and so forth with those little ones. Our school had no gym for basketball or football field because of the tundra, so wrestling was our only sport, which was held in one of our classrooms or in the National Guard Armory. We would compete against other schools in the district and would travel by snowball with the wrestlers and my cheerleaders. On one trip back from Good News Bay, the weather was warming up, so we went through some open water. I protected our cheerleaders from splashing of ice-cold water and got hypothermia. Fortunately, when we stopped, Archer noticed that I was unresponsive, so he got me into dry clothes and warmed up. In another photo here, Archer and John Billy Andrew, our coach, convinced me to wrestle one of our 8th grade girls, Karen Petluska, to promote girls wrestling. After 2 minutes on the mat, which finished as a tie, I felt like I had been hit by a Mack truck. Some of the moms and their daughters did have fun wrestling, but it did not take off as a local sport. There's my emotion. Oh my gosh. Yeah.